Hey everybody, Matt here. Today I'm doing a review on the cheapest trigger pull gauge available on Amazon. This is the Pridefend Professional Digital Trigger Pull Gauge 0 to 12 pounds trigger pull scale, 0-ounce increments for accurate readings, trigger pull gauge with LCD display in black. This was $17.99 before tax and any delivery charges if you have to pay those. I'm a Prime member, so I do not. It features two different modes, live and peak. Has a backlit LCD screen. It does have memory for you to retain up to a certain amount of previous measurements. You can adjust the different units, pounds, ounces, and kilograms. It is very lightweight. It is somewhat cheap, very cheap feeling. Takes two AA batteries, which are not included, which stinks. And yeah, we're going to see how it does compared to a more expensive trigger pull gauge that I have as well. So this one works in a little bit of a different fashion than other gauges, to where you have to actually, well, I'll show you. It's a little weird, but here's the buttons like any typical device. Delete button, enter button to retain the previous measurements, different units, and then the mode here is to go between peak and live, units, kilograms, or pounds and ounces. But here's how this works. So what you have to do is you actually have to place the sensor right there on the trigger, and then you have to pull the trigger with your finger and follow through. And you want to do this in one motion, just like that. So if I hit enter, that's 15.6 ounces, 2 pounds. Hit enter, it's going to retain that in the memory. The counter is going to go to 1, and the max and min will be set. The second pull, 2 pounds, 7 ounces. So if I want to retain this one and add it to the list, hit enter. Now 2 is stored, and that is the minimum. The third, 2 pounds, 10 ounces, hit enter. I now have 3 stored, and that's in the middle. And let's do one more. 2 pounds, 12.9 ounces. Let's say I want to hit enter on that one. So this is peak that will show you the maximum, the minimum, and how many measurements you saved. If you hit the mode button again, it takes you to live. Hit the mode button a third time. Now in the bottom, it's going to show peak again, but now it's going to show just the averages. So you can bounce between these two if you want. We mainly care about peak when we're measuring trigger pull, not necessarily the live. To reset, hold down the delete button, and it's going to reset all the measurements. It will shut off after 10 minutes of non-use, or you can just press the power button in the middle. So now let's compare that with this guy. This was a little more expensive, around $50-something. I'll put a link to it in the description. And this is the MX Moon Free. This is not only a pull gauge, but also a push gauge. It comes with many different attachments because it can do a whole lot more than just a pull gauge. I use this for other purposes, for like measuring the strength of neodymium magnets and things like that. That's why I have this. This is actually rated up to 110 pounds, and this Pridefend is measured up to 12 pounds, I believe. This more expensive one did come with a calibration certificate as well. So let's see what kind of measurements I get from this. Same functions, live and peak, and it can retain memory and do all the averaging. for you. So I'll put it on average, and I have it on peak. This is a traditional pull gauge where you do not have to use your finger. So I'm going to hit set. 3 pounds, 14 ounces. This is very different than the Pridefend. Oops. I'm going to zero that. I didn't mean to do that. 3 pounds, 12 ounces. Hit set. Now it's going to show that I have 2 saved and an average of 3 pounds, 13 ounces. 3 pounds, 12 ounces. 3 pounds, 11 ounces. 3 pounds, 13 ounces. So you get the picture. This one cleared its memory when I turned it off, but you can rewind and compare the results. This one is measuring at a higher trigger pull than this one. They are both consistent, but which one do you actually believe if you don't know how to calibrate them yourself? Like me, I have no idea how to calibrate these, and I don't have the equipment to do so. So is this cheap $17.99 pull gauge accurate? It's consistent. I have no idea if it's accurate or not. It is different compared to this more expensive one. Unfortunately, I don't have an answer, and you'll have to decide for yourself on which one you want to trust. I would lean towards this. Now, this certificate, how much does that mean? I don't know. Depends on if you trust this brand or not. But this is specifically designed to do a whole lot more than this. And again, this thing is very lightweight. It is very cheap and chintzy feeling. I would not trust this to last a good amount of time at all, especially if you drop it. It's probably done for. I would definitely lean towards this more expensive one. I will put the link to both of these in the description and the pinned comment. If you have any questions, fire away. But if you enjoy these types of reviews, hit subscribe. Let me know. Thanks for watching. Gotta go. Bye. Okay, everybody, I'm back and I have an idea. So this more expensive device I showed you has all these little attachments it comes with, and one of them is this flat pedestal. So I had an idea. I'm going to put this in live mode. I'm going to set this 5-pound barbell on top of it, and we'll see what that registers at. Hopefully you can see. But if I take the pressure off the barbell, it is reading at about 5 pounds, give or take an ounce or so. And the resolution of this is 1%. But that is pretty spot on for me. I'm going to go ahead and determine this one to be the winner. This one is the most accurate one. That cheap one, not so accurate. Would not recommend. Thanks for watching. Bye.